Hello everyone, Coaster Brian here, and welcome back to another of one of my figure reviews. So today I have for you the Final Fantasy VII Remake Play Arts Kai Cloud Strife version 2 figure. This I just got it in the mail today. And of course, this figure, there is, as you know, again, this version 2. The original version of this figure came out, I believe, around the time when they released the trailers for the original trailers for the Final Fantasy VII Remake video game. Of course, from that process until the game's release, the head and the face sculpt for Cloud has changed. So for this version 2 figure, the main difference that I know is of the head sculpt to better replicate what you see in the game itself. So very quickly, let's take a quick look at the box here. So this is the front. Again, a really nice picture of the figure. And of course, here you have the logo, Final Fantasy VII Play Arts Kai Cloud Strife version 2. So again, that's the front of the box. Here is the top. Here is the bottom, one of the sides here. Here we have the back, and some nice figure shots here for Cloud. And then down here we have some of the warnings as well. Now today is the release day of this figure, so I just got it in the mail. So very excited to take a look at this. And then when we open the box, is a nice magnet window here. You have a nice kind of read up history on Cloud. So I'll bring it here. If you wish to take a quick read of that, please pause the video. I'm talking about Cloud, also the Buster Sword. And then of course here would be the display window for the figure. I have the figure out right now, but this is what you would have. A nice kind of art for the Buster Sword here. So yes, that is the box. So now we would take a look at the figure and see what he comes with. All right, so now I have everything out of the box here. And as you can see, these are the accessories that the Cloud figure does come with. It also comes with a little instruction paper here. So here it just tells you kind of the contents for the figure stand and how to change and input the stand post into the base. There is English and Japanese and some, I think, Spanish as well. Some other languages on here too, so that's very good. And then on the back, we have some other instructions here. So first showing you the 2 different sets of hands you can use with the Buster Sword. Here tells you how to change the post you could put in the back of Cloud, so you can have it where the sword is attached to his back. And then on the bottom here, just all the sets of hands that you have and which arms to put them in. So of course, always look at your instruction manuals before you enjoy your figure. So here are all the accessories. Let's first take a look at the stand over here. I will say the plastic clamshell in the box is pretty sturdy, so getting some of these out, especially these waist grabbers here, I was a little nervous with the small one here. I didn't want to break anything, so definitely be careful when you take your accessories out of the box. So first, here is the base. As you can see, there are many different posts here, so I like how there's different options where you can input the pole here to give you different posing opportunities. And the pole here, there's one in the middle. It can bend. Then of course on the top and the bottom, you also have some places where you can bend the pole as well. So I like the different range of ways we can dynamically pose Cloud here, so that's really nice. Also, you have the small waist grabber here, which is good, and a little bigger one as well. Okay. Very nice. So that's the stand. Now, next, taking a look at the other accessories here. So yeah, these are the 3 sets of extra hands that he comes with. There's 2 already on the figure, 2 closed hands. So here you have one set, excuse me, of open palm hands here. Sorry for the noise. I do like the detail that comes with this hand here that's on his kind of gauntlet hand. Really nice. And of course this one's just like a glove. Still very good. Now these 2 next sets of hands are for the Buster Sword, but there is a little bit different. A quick glance, they almost look the same. But here's the first set of the Buster Sword hands. And here is the second set. Now you may have noticed, and I will actually use just this other one to compare. If you look very closely, one hand, this bottom one here, is more out on an angle, where this one here is a little bit more vertical. So if you wanted to have a Cloud kind of holding his the Buster Sword out more on an angle, you would want to use this bottom one here. This is more kind of your almost straight up and down, because there's only so much wrist articulation, so this gives you that chance. Also, I guess if you want to have it where he's reaching behind his back to get the touch the Buster Sword, to hold on to it, you may want to use this angled hand as well. Now here, this is the post that you would use and put into the back of Cloud if you wanted to have it where you can have the Buster Sword hanging on his back. This piece here was already in the figure, in the box. Now I will say, you can kind of see I kind of ate at some of the sides a little bit. This piece is really tight in the back of the figure. It's pushing right up against the rubber back, and it's kind of hard to get some leverage on this piece, so you can take it out and interchange it with this. I recommend any of these pieces, maybe not push it in all the way flush against his back. I would try to leave some space, just so that you don't potentially break this piece trying to get it out the next time, or just maybe leaving this piece as the one always in his back. They both have that kind of slot design on the top, as you can see, and I'll show you how these work with the figure. But yeah, taking this off for the first time, it was making me a little bit nervous. So yeah. And then of course the main accessory, if I could even fit it all on the camera, is the Buster Sword itself. And the paint and the detail on this piece is really, really nice. The texture of it, it's a bit more of a rough feel to this compared to the plastic that's on the figure. It's not as smooth. It's definitely a different texture. But I definitely do like this. I think it looks great. A lot of that battle damage or that wear on the edges of the sword. Nice paint detail, as you can see. Yeah, really nice. And then of course, again, in these holes here would be where you would slot this in to hold on his back. Now this thicker end is the piece, is the part that goes into the back of Cloud. This piece is the one that goes into the Buster Sword. As you can see, you can go like that and you can put it in. I won't push it through all the way. I don't want a chance seeing how difficult it is to get back out, but that is how you would do it, into his back. And I guess you can choose either circle, if a hole, if you wish, but I think maybe this bottom one is the better one. But yeah, that's how you would do that. Okay, now let's take a look at Cloud. Here he is. First impression of the figure, I think it looks fantastic. The head sculpt is really well done. I am very happy they came back and they redesigned that initial figure. I don't have that initial figure, but based on the pictures that I've seen, there is to me a big difference with the head sculpt itself. And just to bring it in so you can see, sorry for the weird lighting, but yes, the head sculpt I think it looks really good, like you do see in the game. The hair here is a kind of pliable rubber plastic. The color, I don't know if I'm a huge fan. It kind of looks like uncooked macaroni. I don't remember on the top of my head the exact shade of blonde his hair was in the game. I don't think it looks bad, but it does look a little too translucent in a way than I was expecting. But it's still, I think, is really well done. I like how it goes over his eyes there, and it does definitely hold form as well. It's not gonna stab you. As you can see, it's very easily moved, so I would also be careful too for not to grab anything and possibly kind of bend these out of shape. And he has the earring there. I will also say, if you look very closely to my figure, on the top of the hair, if I can get this to, yeah, there we go. There is some black staining, I guess from other paint or maybe from the box. It is on there. It's not too bad. It doesn't really bother me, but especially right there. I also have it here on his arm too, right there, right above my fingernail. There's that black stain. It's a paint stain. I'm not too terribly worried about it, but it is there, so you may have that kind of QC issues when you get the figure yourself in hand. But again, yeah, the figure is very nice. A lot of good detail. I do like how, at least with the pants, they do kind of hide that double jointed knee as well. So now coming in, taking more of a detailed look at the figure. As you can see, this, of course, is the outfit represented in the remake. Here's that shoulder pad. It's kind of on a kind of rubber piece. You can kind of see through there. It's just kind of free floating. It doesn't get too much in the way of articulation, but it does. It's just free floating there. It's not too fixed, which is good. So here's his kind of shirt. Again, that's the back. So now this is the hole you would put your post for the Buster Sword. Now, his upper clothing is like a rubber, so it's going to be hard to show you. But as you can see, this can flex. So when you're trying to pull the original post out, this post here, it just kind of flexes with the outfit, and it doesn't want to come out so easy. So definitely be careful when you do that for the first time. And here's his belt. This is kind of free floating here. There's his arm gauntlets. And then his really baggy pants. And then his boots. Yeah, everything is, of course, this is a Play Arts figure. So, of course, Square Enix is going to get their design for their characters on point, which is what I always expect from them. Okay, so now let's go over some articulation. Now, of course, this is my figure. I'm not going to go too crazy with showing the full range of articulation. I bet, once you get your figure in hand, you can definitely push it more than I will here. But we'll start with down at the bottom with the feet. There is some toe articulation here. You do have you have the swivel here. There is the ball joint on the ankle. Of course, it can go up and down, and it can rotate on this ball joint as well. So same on both sides, of course. It is a bit weird though when you have the pants, the leg straight. You kind of see the foot kind of curves out. So unless you're going to really put his feet like that, which is a bit unnatural, you're going to always want to have his legs or his knees bent to kind of get that relaxed pose, which is a little unfortunate for me. But I guess most people are going to have him pose pretty dynamic, so it's not going to really matter. But he has double jointed knees. As you can see, that's fully bent. And again, I do like how they kind of hide it with the pants, but there is some kind of big gapping here, depending on how you're posing it. So, but I guess that's just the normal, what to expect from Play Arts. Of course, that goes for both sides. You do have an upper thigh swivel here, and of course the texturing of the pants does carry throughout, so you will have that. Now here, the crotch area, it is just a rubber, and you can see there are some slits in here, so that can help you kind of for posing. You do have nice ratchet joints for the legs. I don't want to push my figure too much more and kind of warp this rubber, but definitely take that into account. And it does carry out in the back as well. Good detailing, but it's all just kind of a pliable rubber. And then here, again, you have the up and down ratchet and the out kind of ratchet as well, which is great. And then you do have some waist, you have waist articulation, but you do see it kind of bends the belts. But the belts are individually cut, so it does kind of give it more of a realistic movement to it. For the ab, nice ab crunch. It also does kind of swivel. I do like that. A good range of motion there, as you can see. You can get pretty far down. So a lot of those dynamic poses you want to do with the figure, you could definitely get done. For the wrist, typical wrist swivel. Also, you can go up and down, and you can also rotate along that joint, that ball joint as well. Double jointed elbows, but not really too much extra upward bend. As you can see, the normal joint, it's already almost, you're already almost completely with the joint. So you only get really that one and a half extra clicks really with that double joint. But still pretty good. You have the bicep swivel as well. And again, that goes for both arms. Really easy to ratchet joints, but really easy to move. I'm not too worried about breaking anything when it comes to the arms. Now, when it comes to the shoulder areas, this is what I find a little interesting. When I raise the arm here, well, first you have these kind of slits in the upper tire area. It goes on both sides. This side's a little bit more noticeable, but it's pretty, it looks like he almost has someone cut into his shirt. It looks like his shirt's kind of beat up, which I guess it's okay. I understand why they did it, but the upper clothing, it's a really thick rubber, but as you can see, it's kind of, it looks a bit too unnatural for me. But looking in here in the shoulder, you can kind of see, it's better look on this side. You can't really get a perfect up and like I'm pushing up and down on the articulation here, because the joint is kind of angular, how it rests in the shoulder. So that movement here is easily done, but you can kind of see it's on an angle. It kind of sits in the chest area to kind of give the figure its good aesthetic look. But the only way you'll get that up and down motion is from this ball joint here in the arm. So it gets me a little nervous trying to get that arm back. There we go. But now I have his arm up and down, so you can kind of get that posing of him reaching back for the Buster Sword. But it gets me a little nervous, so I would, if I were you, I'd be a bit careful. But it does give a lot of range and motion, which is great. But if you don't take a look at that joint, you may possibly snap it. So definitely be careful with that. But a good range of motion. Now, of course, on this side, it's more hindered because of this shoulder pad here. It's the same joint. It would have the same range of motion, but again, because of this shoulder pad, you're not going to be able to reach around. And the head, it is on a ball joint, and the neck, there is some neck pivot as well. This is on, again, a ball joint, so if people are just looking to get the head sculpt, I guess maybe you can change it out, or maybe you can, you know, figure out how to acquire that if you have the V1 figure. But yeah, the articulation is very well done, as you would expect from a Play Arts Kai. Now to go over a couple more things and get that foot back. There we go. He's kind of on an angle here. Let me try to fix that. But yeah, the figure is really, really nice. I think it looks great. It looks just like how it does from the game. Next, let me just show, actually switching out the arms. Very easy. That was the first time I've done that. Comes out super easy, the hand, so I'm not really too worried about breaking anything. Now putting in the Buster Sword here. Now this hand is more of the vertical up and down hand. Very tight getting that in. Very tight. So, as you can hear, sorry for those noises. I actually am a bit nervous doing this because the arm is so long. The handle on the Buster Sword is so long. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna want to do that in all honesty, so I'll have to mess with that later. But it looks like the paint is it's a bit too thick for the hand to really get in. Even if I were to look down very quickly on my table, you can kind of see some bits and pieces of the paint coming off. So I'm happy with the paint apps, but it's a little too much. Not so easy to get in there. This is more of the angled hand. Let me see if I can easily, no, it's really, you can kind of see there's not much space in there, and it's not so pliable. These hands are very thick, yeah, it's pretty difficult to get those hands in. So bear that in mind. I'm not looking to really push my figure, so that's a little unfortunate, but definitely be careful with your hands on your figure. As you can see, this joint here is not so easy to work with. So I usually, for me, I'm more of a Hot Toys collector. I don't collect much in the way of Play Arts figures. But what I like to do is show you one more thing. Now, of course, this is Cloud. I think in the game, he's supposed to be around 5'7" in the game. Now here I have one of my Hot Toys. I have my RoboCop Alex Murphy, and he is supposed to be 6 foot in real life, right? He is a 6 foot person, the actor Peter Weller. As you can see here, I know Play Arts is not listed as 1/6 scale, but if you are looking to have it within some of your 1/6 scale figures, there's a bit of a huge height difference, even with Cloud's hair. It's definitely not within 1/6 scale. It's definitely not meant for that kind of scale collection. But still, it's still a very well done figure. But yeah, it's pretty short. So definitely keep that in mind if you're looking to be with some of your 1/6 scale figures in your collection. All right, so I'm gonna try to give this Buster Sword one last go and try to give you some posing. So let's see if I can do that. I will be right back. Okay, so I am back, and I did manage to get comfortably the hand up to about there. Now, one little word of warning here with this. If you can look very closely on the end of the handle, try to get that to focus. There we go. You can see I've already wore off the paint on the end of the handle, just trying to get it in the arm. Sorry, not the arm, the hand. It's a really tight fit, and it's just made me very nervous trying to get this hand on the handle for the Buster Sword here. I'm worried about twisting it or breaking it off because of how long it is. But yeah, a little bit unfortunate that already just out of the box, just trying to get the hand on the first time. It's really difficult. So at least for mine, it's like that. So please take that into account when you get your figure in hand as well. Definitely be very careful. But again, taking this off super easy, which I do like. And then putting the hand in, nope. Putting the hand in. Let's try that again. Nope, let's try that again. Man, these hands just don't want to work with me here. Yeah, this is not as easy as I thought it would be. Okay, there we go. Very tight. I'm just gonna leave it there. It doesn't look that good, but I'm just gonna leave it there. Yeah, it's a bit, these hands are a bit difficult to work with, but still a really nice figure here. I do like it very much. I'm not that great with posing, but yeah, so again, this has been kind of a quick review of the figure. My feelings on it, I know it's a Play Arts. Again, I'm more used to being a Hot Toys figure. I still think it's a very good looking figure. The articulation, there's a lot of range and motion you can get out of this figure. But with those hands, definitely be careful. Again, I already scratched the paint on the end of this tip here. Also, again, from this back, getting the post out, this first post out of this back piece is really difficult that first time. So definitely be careful when you are doing that for the first time with your figures. Hopefully it's easier. Hopefully it's just mine. But still, all those issues aside, I think it still looks very, very good. It looks just like how it does in the game. Again, I don't have the original figure, but comparing it to pictures online, the head sculpt is a much better improvement. I'm not sure if there's any differences with the body. It could be the same body. I'm not 100% sure, but regardless, I still think it's an excellent figure. I got mine on Amazon Japan for a little over 12,000 yen. Which is about $120. So you can, I think the list price for it, at least as it releases, around $155. You may be able to find it cheaper. And I definitely recommend everybody jump on this figure if you're on the fence, because the original remake figure, after it's sold out, has gone up in price. So now with this one being out, it's a great opportunity for everybody to get your hands on this figure. And of course, in the next coming months, you're going to have more of the line coming out with Barrett, Aerith, Tifa, and then later in the year, early next year, you have other characters like Sephiroth. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be collecting the whole line, but I definitely will look at getting Sephiroth when that does come out. So again, thank you very much. This has been the Play Arts Kai Final Fantasy VII Remake Cloud version 2 review. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like if you did. Please leave a comment. If you can, please subscribe. Again, for my channel, I'm just kind of sharing my experiences of the things I enjoy, which when it comes to video games, figures, travel, like going to Disney, and so on. So if you'd like to share some of those experiences with me, please come along for the ride. And thank you again very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. So thank you very much. Bye-bye.